Hi, this is Carl Gomery. I'm giving a little heads up before I start my video. I am currently very sick with a sore throat, so my speech may be fast. I'm trying to get through the words. Also, it may sound not polished because my voice just isn't polished right now. Thank you. Hello, this is Carl Gomery, and this is my research methods paradigm. Here is my audio. I'll be going over quantitative methods, qualitative methods, mixed methods, and references. As students getting ready to start the Research Methods 1 and 2 courses at Baker College, it's important to understand the main ways psychologists study human behavior. These are called research methods. They include quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods. Each of these offers different ways to learn about how people think, feel, and act. This presentation gives a basic overview of how these three methods, including their main features, pros, cons, and how they can be used together in mixed methods research. Qualitative research focuses on numbers and statistics. It's useful for testing specific ideas or hypotheses. Qualitative research looks at people's experiences and feelings in more detail using words and descriptions instead of numbers. Mixed method research combines both of these aspects and gives a more complete picture with the approaches. Quantitative research methods. Quantitative research includes a variety of study designs, each suited for particular types of research questions. Correlational studies assess the relationships between two or more variables without manipulating them, which means they cannot establish causal links. In contrast, two experimental designs involve manipulating an independent variable, randomly assigning participants to groups, controlling their extraneous variables to determine the cause and effects relationships. Quasi-experimental designs share some characteristics with true experiments, but lack random assignment, making them especially useful in real-world contexts where experimental control is impractical. Correlational assesses relationships between variables without implying causation. True experimental includes random assignment, control groups, and manipulation of the independent variables. Quasi-experimental resembles experimental design but lacks random assignment. It's used when randomization is impractical or unethical. Strengths and limitations. Some strengths are objectivity, replicability, and statistical analysis, while limitation may overlook context less suitable for complex phenomenon. Qualitative research offers several advantages such as objectivity, replicability, and ability to perform statistical analysis to support generalization to broader populations. However, structure nature may sometimes be overly rigid, potentially overlooking cultural and contextual nuances, and studies human behavior. Numerical data alone may not adequately capture richness or meaning of participants' lived experiences. Qualitative methods. There are three types of qualitative methods designs I've listed. Interviews involve open-ended questioning, allowing participants to share personal experiences. Focus groups are more moderated discussions among participants to explore collective perspectives. Case studies provide an in-depth examination of a single subject or small group. These methods emphasize rich descriptions over generalizations. In contrast, qualitative design emphasizes understanding the complexity or depth of human behavior. Interviews enable researchers to explore participants' thoughts and emotions in detail through open-ended questions. Focus groups bring together small groups for guided discussions, highlighting both common and divergent viewpoints. Case studies offers in-depth analysis for an individual group, yielding rich insight into specific psychological phenomenon. They also have strengths and weaknesses. Some strengths is rich, detailed data, context-sensitive, flexibility in data collection. However, it's limited generalization ability, time-consuming, and research bias. Qualitative methods are especially useful for investigating novel or complex issues. They produce detailed, context-sensitive data and allow flexibility in both data collection and interpretation. However, these methods often involve smaller sample sizes, which can limit generalization ability. Additionally, researchers' role interpreted data introduces potential for bias, which must be very carefully managed. Mixed methods is exactly how it sounds. Mixed methods combines both qualitative and quantitative research methods into one overarching method. Mixed method research combines both quantitative and qualitative approaches, leveraging the strengths of each. Researchers may collect numerical and narrative data, either concurrently or sequentially, depending on the goal of the study. This approach facilitates a more comprehensive and understanding of complex research questions by enabling triangulation and deeper interpretation. While mixed method research can be demanding in terms of design, time, and require expertise, it offers a robust framework for exploring multifaceted psychological issues that neither... Sorry about that. I was also looking for my keys before I started this. It offers a robust framework for exploring multifaceted psychological issues that neither method could fully address alone. The definition and features of mixed methods integrate quantitative and qualitative data, the two different types of research, and then sequential or concurrent designs. Some strengths for mixed methods is comprehensive analysis and validates findings across the two methods. Limitations is it has to be a super complex design, and it requires more resources than the other two approaches do alone, because it needs not only the list of how much qualitative needs, it also needs the list of how much quantitative needs. Quantitative research offers a structured methods for examining relationships, causal effects, particularly through correlational. Oh my god, I finally said it. Correlational, experimental, and quasi-experimental designs. While valued for its objectivity and generalization ability, it may lack the contextual depth needed to fully understand humans' complex behaviors. This is where qualitative research addresses the gap by emphasizing rich, detailed data gathered through interviews, focus groups, and case studies. Though it may be less generalizationable and more vulnerable to researcher bias, mixed method research ties the two in a bow. It combines the strengths of both paradigms, enabling more nuanced and validated interpretations. Despite its complexity, this integrative approach offers a more powerful tool for investigating the multifaceted psychological questions. The sources I had used throughout my presentation is Almeida, Farah, and Quirio's Strengths and Limitations of Qualitative and Quantitative Research Methods by ResearchGate, Cresswell, J.D., Research Designs, Qualitative, Quantitative, and Mixed Methods Approaches by Sage Publications, our textbook, and then Harvard Cataclysm, Mixed Method Researchers. Thank you so much for listening, and it was really fun being a part of this class.